Production funding for Flying Squirrels Insider is made possible in part by
Clean water is one of our most valuable resources. Conserving it should be all of our responsibility. Remember every day to make every drop count. Wash full loads, take shorter showers, turn off your faucet. Water, use it wisely. Let's commit to conserve.
and by Madarva, providing mobile vision and hearing screenings to prepare preschoolers for kindergarten. Jay might be away, but FSI is not slowing down. This week, Sam will break down the Flying Squirrels' 4 all-star selections and highlight former Squirrels who have launched from the boulevard to the bay. The team is coming off a much-improved June and head into the 4th of July weekend with a boom. We sit down with former big leaguer Jerry Sands to talk about the fireworks he has brought to the hitting game. Also, we take you inside BP. That's batting practice for all you rookies out there, or what Coach Kyle Haynes calls controlled chaos. Buckle up. It's time for Flying Squirrels Insider.
Welcome into another edition of Flying Squirrels Insider. My name is Sam Ravitch. You might notice that my broadcast partner, Jay Burnham, is not with us today. He gave me a call earlier this morning, said he had some sort of hair emergency. I'm not entirely sure what that means, but, we will continue on without him. Before we get started, though, we would like to thank our friends at Utility Buddy for the City of Richmond Department of Public Utilities making us aware of Richmond's natural gas and safety program. Getting ready to install a fence or put in an addition to your house, contractors, homeowners, and do-it-yourselfers, call 811 before you dig. We'd also like to thank Madarva for providing pre-K vision and hearing to all people in the Richmond area. Also, if you're watching, make sure that you scratch off to win Flying Squirrels free stuff. Text FSI to 63975. Mobile marketing services provided by Opt-in Technologies. No purchase necessary. Message and data rates may apply. We appreciate all of the messages that we've been getting, and we appreciate your support throughout the entire season. All right, let's get right into it. The Flying Squirrels have been booming so far in this month of June. They have been producing offensively left and right. Everybody has been getting involved, but mainly it's been CJ Hinojosa who has been batting fantastically in the month of June. He's hitting to an average of .310, and Miguel Gomez as well has been providing some of that offensive boost, some power as well. 16 home runs for the Flying Squirrels throughout the month of June so far. But it's not just been the offense, it's really been everybody. The defense has been improving. Miguel Gomez has made just 2 errors in the month of June. He made 7 in the month of April, so he's improving mightily as well. The pitching staff, the bullpen, everybody seems to be playing much better. But one guy specifically coming out of the bullpen, that is Tyler Shearer. Tyler Shearer is 10 for 10 in save opportunities so far this season. He has been essentially perfect on the mound, coming in tight situations, one-run games. The Squirrels have been able to rely on Tyler Shearer. Like we said, 10 for 10. He's been impressive working that curveball, working it low in the zone. His strikeout rate is also impressive. He's averaging 10.7 strikeouts per 9 innings. Those numbers are nearly unheard of, and the strikeouts certainly good, but the fact that the Squirrels have a winning record in the month of June, I think, is also more impressive. But really, this whole team has started to come together. The winning record is important, especially going into that All-Star break that's coming up. Looking a little bit ahead, the Flying Squirrels will be taking that break on July 12th, which is going to be the All-Star game, and the Flying Squirrels actually will be sending 4 players to that All-Star game up on July 12th in New Hampshire. Those 4 players are Slade Heathcott, Miguel Gomez, Tyler Shearer, and Matt Gage. Those will be the 4 players that will be serving the Flying Squirrels up in New Hampshire. All 4 of those players have been playing very well this season, and they've been hitting and pitching. Speaking of Matt Gage was the guy, if you can remember, back on June 22nd, who pitched just the 4th complete game shutout for the Flying Squirrels in history. Gage will be performing up in the All-Star game as well, along with those other 3 players. This is just the first time that these 4 players will be up in the All-Star game. So congratulations to all of those players. And if they keep playing better, they might be one day up in the big leagues with the Giants. And speaking of the Giants, a couple of former Flying Squirrels have already made their Major League debut with the San Francisco Giants this month. And first player was Austin Slater. Austin Slater made his debut back on June 2nd of this month, and Slater has been producing up at the Major League level. He's heading to a .333 average, already has 2 home runs on the season. couple of other players that played with Austin Slater on the 2016 Flying Squirrels team have also made their Major League debut. And those players are Kyle Crick for one and Ryder Jones for two. Kyle Crick, coming out of the bullpen for the San Francisco Giants, has pitched in a couple of games so far. And Ryder Jones still searching for his first hit up at the big leagues, but we'll see if Ryder Jones gets that first big league hit in a couple of weeks here with the San Francisco Giants. Also, most recently, Dan Slania got the call up. He was scheduled to pitch on Friday, actually, against the Reading Fightin' Phils. Got the call early in the morning and was flown out to San Francisco, so we wish Dan the best, of course, and we'll see if he gets in a game coming up soon. Coming up next here on Flying Squirrels Insider, we will catch up with Jay and his Karmann Ghia car. I had never heard of it, but Jay is looking forward to showing us his car and all the memories that he shares in that car. Jay, what do we have here?
This is a 1971 Volkswagen Karmann Ghia. I'd never heard of it, had no idea what it was, but it was in my price range at that point. I had literally driven the wheels of my mom's Camry off. I went over the train tracks one day, the wheels came off, and I went without a car for about a week and a half. I bought it from a woman who worked for the company that owned our team down in Pensacola, Florida. And I drove it every day for about 3.5 years. It has been in Florida, Asheville, North Carolina, and when we moved up to New Jersey as well. Got on the Jersey Turnpike one day. One of the taillights didn't work. My car was full of all my earthly possessions, driving along 75-mile-an-hour traffic, and I got pulled over by a police officer. And he took one look at me, my situation, and he said, "It's your life, bro. If you want to keep driving, fine, but you are in some dangerous territory." So that's when I decided to shelve it, and I'm trying to sell it right now to fund my next endeavor. So we'll see. But yeah, it's got a lot of character to it. It was underneath a train trellis. I left it there for a week, and someone had thrown rock at it and had broken it there. And then over here, you can see I've got two different colored taillights. Unfortunately, this one's aftermarket. The team was going on a road trip, and so I just left it in the parking lot, came back, and someone had broken the taillight. And they're like $80 to fix, and when you work in minor league baseball, you got to get the cheaper version, so that's why those don't match.
Yeah.
So the trunk handle's there,
okay.
And then this is the...
But this is the engine.
This is
the
it,
trunk
yeah.
is in the front.
Yeah. You want me to fire it up?
Yeah, let's fire up and see what she sounds like.
Careful there, because that floorboard needs to be replaced. So
yep.
Easy goes. All right. The radio's not connected to the engine, so you'll learn this the hard way. If you don't shut the radio off and you go on a 7-day road trip, you come back, the battery's dead. Yep. Yes, that has happened to me before. To get to this, you got to go through the glove compartment that you got to pull. There you go. Got it. Hear that doink? This is where you put all your worldly possessions when you move from Florida to North Carolina.
With a spare tire in there?
With a spare tire, yeah. So, oh, here's something. This is my first demo CDs. Look at that. I don't know why I put a picture of Honus Wagner on there. That didn't make any sense, right?
Well,
maybe that's why I didn't get hired. My wife, who I met in Asheville, she lived down the street from where I was living. And she recognized my car before she ever met me, because she would walk by our house and she would see the car parked out front, and she said, "Well, I wonder who owns that."
Yeah.
Well,
so
now,
did that help you?
It might have given us a little bit of conversation to start with.
Sometimes that's all you need.
Yeah, and now she's saying, "Get that thing out of the garage." So that's where we are right now.
Well, it's summertime, and we decided to get out of the WCVE studios and come to the field. Why not? We are now joined by Jerry Sands, newly acquired Giants member and assigned to the Flying Squirrels roster this month. Jerry, of course, thanks for joining us today.
I appreciate you having me.
Let's talk a little bit about before the Dodgers started and everything started. You spent a little bit of time growing up in New York, moved to North Carolina. Talk about youth baseball a little bit. Did you play Little League at all? Was that something you were involved in?
I did from as young as I can remember growing up. Obviously, that was kind of the reason my parents moved down, just to get a little bit warmer weather, let us enjoy sports, enjoy life a little bit more. So moved down. I played pretty much every sport there was. We always had property where I grew up, so we'd every day it was either at the field practicing or it was at home, and a bunch of buddies were over, and and playing sports. But football, basketball, baseball, growing up, and kind of narrowed down a little bit more into football and baseball when I got a little bit older. But yeah, from when I can remember until now, I've been playing baseball.
And this is a topic that's constantly talked about now, and I wanted to get your input on this. Kids now and coaches now want kids to specialize in one sport or play just this one sport all season long, all year long. You, of course, played many sports. What's your kind of take on that? Should kids special in one sport, or do you think it's important to get a wide variety of sports?
I like the broad range of getting a little bit of everything. I think specializing, I mean, obviously if you're not very good at other sports,
Sure.
you might want to specialize just because it might be more beneficial for you. But for me, I was pretty good at a couple, so I wasn't really sure what I was going to do going into college. Actually, I had more offers to play football than I did baseball. But I think just kind of broadening your horizons a little bit, and football might toughen you up a little bit more, and like I said, basketball, footwork and agility and different things. And also you kind of see it in kids that they're 10, 11, 12 years old and they're getting burnt out in baseball because they're playing, I mean, a 10, 11, 12-year-old playing 100 games a year or whatever. So I like to broaden it out a little bit.
All right, so you go to college, you get drafted by the Dodgers, 2008 draft, 25th round. What was that call like that you received? Were you with your family? Who were you with?
I was with my family. It was one of those bittersweet moments because I anticipated and I thought from the talks and stuff I was going to go a little bit earlier. So I was in the Coastal Plains League, which was the summer league the Wood Bat League I was playing in, and the coach had given me the day or 2 days off that the draft was going on, and once it started getting into the 20th rounds or so, I told my dad, we both got in the car and we started driving to wherever. Well, I actually saw myself being drafted, but after that we went and drove. I want to say we were in Florence, South Carolina or something, so it was only a couple hours away. Right. We got in the car and drove, and I played that night for my summer league team because I wasn't sure if I was going to sign or not.
Sure.
A little frustrated with how it worked out the draft, but like I said, it's one of those processes I kind of out of my hands, and I just decided it wasn't a whole lot more left for me to do in college.
Well, you took that adversity and changed it into something positive. I mean, you made it. You played over 150 games in the major leagues, played with a couple of organizations, of course, the Dodgers, went to Tampa Bay as well, and a couple of other organizations. But talk about, what that was like. Not many people get to do that. You see top draft picks really not pan out all of a sudden, and then you see guys like yourself who take that adversity and make it into something positive. What was that like for you to be able to play?
I mean, it was awesome. Obviously, it's your dream to make it to the major leagues, but it was kind of the same thing that had happened coming out of high school. A lot of people kind of wrote me off coming out of high school, not really sure why, whether it was the football avenue or what, but I went to a Division II school in college when I thought I probably could have gone D1. So it was kind of the same thing that happened. Kind of people write you off a little bit. You go somewhere and then you do pretty well for yourself, and then all of a sudden it was kind of another setback, if you want to call it, and get drafted. And I just knew I had to go out there and do what I knew I could, and then obviously it worked out that I made it to the major leagues.
Then you play in the Atlantic League. For fashion forward now a little bit. With Somerset, you get picked up by the Giants, and you actually you really were privy to some of the struggles that this team was having offensively, and I'm sure you've heard about them a lot, but then you come in and you provide really just what this team needs, which has been extra base hits, RBIs, doubles, whatever it may be, but just really getting on base. Right. What has it been like, your immersion into the Giants organization and with this Flying Squirrels team? Right.
Well, coming out of indie ball, you don't really know where you're going to go day by day. So obviously I didn't know a whole lot. Obviously, come in and Haynes fills you in a little bit of the struggles and just kind of the younger guys. And I just don't want to do too much. Obviously I want to fit in to begin with. Right. So you just come in and kind of get the feel of the team, the feel of the guys. I like to put a little input here and there. Obviously, you don't want to be overwhelming. Sure. The guy that, he's got big league time and he's in AA. You also don't want to be the guy that's the prude that sits in the corner and shouldn't be here. So you just try and fit in. Obviously, you have a good time. You're still playing baseball. It's an opportunity a lot of people don't have. And then, like I said, I'm still here hoping to advance my career. Sure. So obviously I want to show what I can on the field and play hard every day and help the team win. Jerry, thanks for joining us here on the field. Appreciate you having me. All right, Jerry's going to be out in batting practice. We're going to hear a lot from some of his techniques and what he does pre-post game, but specifically in batting practice. Keep it right here on Flying Squirrels Insider.
Well, there's no secret being at the ballpark, especially with your father, is a special moment. This past Father's Day, my broadcast partner Sam Ravitch and his dad Karl were able to share an extra special moment up in Hartford, Connecticut. We hope you enjoy this piece that aired on ESPN.
So here you and I are standing on Dunkin' Donuts Park Field, 20 minutes from where you grew up, like from a little boy to what you are now, and we're going to call an inning of a game. Like, did you in your wildest imagination ever see this happening?
No, I didn't. And now that it is, it's kind of surreal. So it's really just an honor that I'm able to do this. And I mean, every son kind of grows up and watches their dad do what they want to do. Family is one of the most important things to me. So when you combine family and you combine sports and the opportunity to put it all together,
Right.
That's kind of the best.
This really means to me, you know, he's sort of off and flying on his own because this is the Richmond Flying Squirrels broadcast. It's not something I do, it's something he does. That part of it's really neat.
I was always around baseball tonight. Said every chance I got to go in and watch the show. A lot of kids dream about doing what their father does, and now to finally see it come true, for me personally, it's an experience that I can't really describe.
I think this is going to be more about anybody that's listening in Richmond who wants to find out what it was like to grow up as Sam Ravitch. That's what this is going to be about from my perspective. There are no notes. We're not taking any notes. We have no stats.
Yeah, I don't think he did any research whatsoever, and I, of course, did all the research. So we'll see how much he really knows about the Eastern League AA minor league baseball team here today.
I'll step aside for Karl Ravitch. He'll be joined by Sam coming up next in the top of the fourth.
Something good that is going on is I'm now joined by my dad, Karl, in the booth, and it's a surreal experience. I got to be honest with you. I didn't really pick any words to say or pick an introduction for you.
There's no speech? You got nothing?
I got nothing for you. I don't know if you would call yourself famous. I don't call you famous.
I don't.
But he's my dad, and he is
joining us here.
So what's your favorite part of doing this?
my favorite part of doing
Game.
the games. Anything can happen at any second. Fastball is lined sharply out to left field. Another RBI in this one from Ryan McMahon.
I moved into the press box area and it was 0-0. Then it was 5-0. Now I'm on the telecast and it's 8-0.
Maybe, yeah. You might have to stay in the major leagues and just leave the minor leagues to us. 3-2, a check swing.
He
One
went.
round. He strike three. We head to the top of the fifth inning.
I loved it. I will do it again anytime.
Well, I appreciate it, Dad, and it was great to have you on, and it's always good to be home because I always put family first. So.
Keep up the great
Thank
work.
you.
Good
Thanks.
to be with you, bud.
Well, a lot of people ask what it's like to be a minor league baseball player. Being a minor league baseball player is all about routines. The Flying Squirrels come to the ballpark in the early afternoon, they practice, they eat, and then they play. That routine evolves into something known as batting practice, or BP, to the players and those within the industry. It might look like a bit of chaos out there on the field as you have all the players running around chasing fly balls and hitting the ball across the stadium, but there's actually a bit of structure to it. And we met with Jerry Sands earlier on. We've mic'd him up for this segment, and we're gonna let you know what it's like to take BP with the Flying Squirrels.
Wind's blowing out. For sure going to the warning track today. Get some veteran info from a guy older than me. Huh? I'm wearing a microphone. What am I supposed to say?
When you get up there, what are the progressions that you take?
For the most part, my first round is always the other way. I try and hit the ball pretty much right at the second baseman. Just kind of gets me in line, gets my body to where I want it. And then we usually have a sequence, the second round, of kind of situations where they want to hit and run and get the guy over and stuff. At least a triple. All right, if you throw us change-ups today, we'll be right on it. Third round is usually a pull round, just trying to get the bat head out a little bit. And then the last however many rounds we take, I try and go gap to gap and try and drive the ball, hit some home runs, hopefully.
That's the fun round then.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
last
I was
one,
gonna
right?
say you start letting it go, start to see the ball fly, and sometimes Richmond it's a little tougher to get it out of the park.
Get the squirrel.
That's got to go.
Get the squirrel.
That's got to go. Yeah, it went.
What are you guys doing? What are some of the progressions that you're working on when you're out here every day?
First and foremost, you're getting used to the batter's eye. The depth perception's a lot different. I think that's the easiest thing to explain. When you're working inside, the wall is really close to you, but out here you get the game-like feel of what the batter's eye is like.
Yeah.
Also what the glare is like. The billboards, it might be white, they might be red, they might be whatever color they are out there. You're getting used to what the ball looks like out of a pitcher's hand out there and what the backdrop looks like. Every field looks different. The other thing is you're working on specific individual needs. You're not necessarily trying to hit great shots or home runs, but you're trying to work on something that's unique to you, that you've worked on, that's a thought process that you need to get your swing to where it lines up with your body the right way so that you're ready for the game. Probably the big thing is out on the field, batting practice, you get to see the trajectory of the ball, how the ball's leaving your bat, the launch angle, see how well the ball's jumping, if it's getting good carry on it, or if it's hitting your barrel and it's not jumping, you know something's wrong.
Well, the reverse side is it's not only batting practice, but it's also fielding practice for the guys
Yes.
that are out there shagging balls.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. If you'll notice, in between every single pitch, there's someone on either side of the cage hitting to the infielders, so it's pretty uniquely timed. So the time between pitches and the ball's struck, there's a ball being rolled defensively out into the field, someone's working on a double play with infielders, or you're throwing across, working on your ground balls and throwing the bases, and you'll even see outfielders out there working off the bat. So as the hitter's hitting the ball, they're out their position, reading the ball off the bat, seeing what it looks like with the stands behind there, and getting their reads and their jumps and getting their outfield practice in.
Chaos, it looks like, when you're not.
It's controlled chaos.
Yeah.
Ay! Ow! That wasn't hurt bad. I think I hit it in here.
There's days where we don't take batting practice.
Right.
Obviously, you want to take as much practice as you can, but do you feel off, or is it a different, routine for you on, say, the day games where you don't
Right.
get to take those swings on the
As
field?
I've gotten older, when I was younger, I wanted to hit every day. I wanted to hit as much as I could. A few years ago when I was in Albuquerque, Jay Gibbons, I was struggling. I was kind of trying to feel it. Took my bats away one day and told me I couldn't hit before the game. And he just said, I just want you to try and trust your body and trust what you're feeling and not what you've practiced for 3 hours before the game. You see a slower pitcher with BP and you start getting bigger and longer, and it's kind of a saying, you swing yourself into a slump. So sometimes you want to take it just by feel. As I've gotten older and my body needs a little break, then I just kind of shut it down sometimes. It actually is beneficial for me. Aye! They're playing me deep. Sounds like a Tommy Lasorda motivational speech. Just the dude yelling. Like Tommy would come out here. I say, he reminded me of Tommy. He used to always say, snap it! Because he'd always want you to snap it out front. He would just stand here and yell when the ball's in midair. He'd be yelling, snap it! Snap it! And you'd have to snap it out front. But then, and you're in Arizona and you got the high sky, he's getting older, he can't see. So you'll snap it and you'll hit it and you're like, where the hell did that one go? And the guy that's with him's like, went over the fence. Atta boy, you know what I mean?
What about when pitchers take BP? What's that like as you from an outfielder to watch them swing the bat?
I enjoy it.
You do?
Yeah, because you got some guys that are completely like, looks like they've never swung a bat in their entire lives. But then you got some guys who are pretty athletic.
What makes a good batting practice pitcher?
Consistency is the main thing, kind of consistent spots, consistent speeds. Because when you're kind of in and out and you're having to guess and you're on an off balance with the speeds or whatever, you just kind of, you'd rather consistent to get as many swings in the same repetition and the same sequence as you can.
All right, so how many pitches do you think you throw each day in batting practice?
Well over 100. 4 to 5 guys in a group, and they're getting on the field 25, 30 swings each, so you're getting 100 to 120 at least.
How's your arm
Plus
feel?
I can't straighten it.
At this point of the season.
Yeah, but you're throwing 60 miles an hour,
Yeah.
so get used to it. It's part of the gig.
Thank you for watching another edition of Flying Squirrels Insider, and thank you to all of our production crew here at WCVE Studios. We got a lot coming up at the Diamond. If you have not gotten your tickets for July 4th, make sure you go to squirrelsbaseball.com or call our Flying Squirrels front office. They will help you out there as well. Here for another Flying Squirrels Insider episode next week. We'll see you then on WCVE.
Production funding for Flying Squirrels Insider is made possible in part by
Smell gas? Act fast. Don't just stand there. Leave the area. Get out. Go where the smell is no longer present and call 911. Making you aware, keeping you safe. We're Richmond's Natural Gas Safety Awareness Program.
and by Medarva, providing mobile vision and hearing screenings to prepare preschoolers for kindergarten.